Oh my gosh, yeah. She's very, very. Yeah, could be my his mom. Thank you. They were set as a, thank you very much. As I said, yeah. You don't, my point is not.
All right, just to let you know.
Yeah.
You need to do this presentation since it's your presentation.
Sure.
But then, and I really advise any questions.
Love
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming out. We'll give everybody a minute to grab a slice and a drink. Papa John's is gonna bring us the 2 pizzas that were missing when they first stopped by, so we should have enough lunch for everybody. As you guys probably all got the fancy email about, and I've seen on the MLS, Sunflowers launching a coming soon status that's scheduled to go live on July 1st. So I'm gonna run through the slides that I have about it, and then you guys can ask us any questions you have. If you'll remember, Sunflower had a coming soon status a few years, like maybe almost 5 years ago now. It was a little problematic. Things didn't work that great. More recently, like about 2 years ago, the directors started receiving requests to bring back the coming soon status. At that time, the need was met by changing the definition of the active status, because what members were needing was the ability to schedule showings for a few days before showings were available. And then recently, a lot of our members have been giving the directors feedback that they want the coming soon status back, and that our neighboring MLSs are using coming soon statuses, and that they're losing business sometimes because of this. And so that we don't want our members to lose business, plus it's great for our members who use more than one MLS to have consistent options between MLSs. So the directors modeled this policy after the Lawrence coming soon policy to make it easier for people who use both MLSs. So in layman's terms, coming soon listings are listings that can be publicly marketed because they are on the MLS, even though they are not available for showings. They're displayed in the Collaboration Center. They're allowed to be displayed on public property search websites. They're just not available for showings. When you enter a listing in the coming soon status, you have to enter a begin showing date. Your coming soon listing will automatically become an active listing at midnight on the begin showing date. You have to make your begin showing date at least 2 weeks prior to the expiration date on the listing agreement. So your entire listing can't be coming soon. It's got to have at least a little bit of active time towards the end of your listing agreement. For the record, you're not like, this is an option. You're not required to use this status if you don't want to. Just wanted to throw that out there. Obviously you can publicly market the listing. It's on the MLS. And nobody's allowed to show the property. A listing agent and potentially the buyer's agent that show a property in the coming soon status could be subject to $1,000 fine. When you list something in the coming soon status, you have to add a disclaimer to the public remarks section that says sight unseen offers may be accepted by the seller, and the showing begin date could change. There's a procedure if the seller does accept a sight unseen offer to change that status from coming soon to active and then to under contract within 1 day after accepting a sight unseen offer. Once a listing's moved out of the coming soon status, it cannot go back into the coming soon status. Days on market will accrue while in coming soon status, and when the status gets changed to active, days on market will reset to 0. Your listing agreement for a listing in the coming soon status must pre-authorize an immediate status change from coming soon to active, regardless of the scheduled begin showing date, if the property is shown by anyone, including the seller. And then we've got a whole protocol outlined for when there are changes to the begin showing date or if an unauthorized showing occurs. We'll go through those. So if there's a change to the begin showing date, whether that change is moving the begin showing date forward or backward, the listing agent must notify anybody who's already got a showing scheduled within. They have to notify anybody with an existing showing already scheduled prior to any showings occurring or within 1 business day. And then you follow this protocol in this order. So your seller's going to sign the written authorization to change your begin showing date. You're going to notify everybody who's already got a scheduled appointment. I'll share these slides with you too. You update the begin showing date in the MLS. And then move forward as before. If there is an unauthorized showing, because your listing agreement pre-authorizes an immediate status change. If there's an unauthorized showing, you notify everybody who's already got a scheduled showing appointment and change the status to active in the MLS at the earliest opportunity, but no later than midnight of the day that you learn that there has been an unauthorized showing. Unauthorized showings that happen as a result of an estate sale don't require you to follow the unauthorized showing protocol unless somebody writes a sight unseen offer, and then you follow the sight unseen offer protocols. Ooh, that display's kind of fun to me. We made you a little chart to help you understand the different options. Again, this is an advertising option that's available to you. You're not required to use the coming soon status unless that's what you and your seller decide is best for you. I know there's like a lot of little contingency lists for when things don't go according to plan, but otherwise it seems kind of simple to me. It's on the market, I mean, on the MLS, but it's not available for showings.
Why does it say buildings are allowed? Am I not?
An office exclusive listing? I mean, if you have an office exclusive listing, you're still allowed to show it.
Okay, I think I was reading it across. I think.
No, nobody's screaming or crying or anything. I'm kind of shocked.
So are you gonna want like everybody's list an agreement to reflect the, if you want like on the provisions on the list?
We do not dictate how you design your listing agreement. That's- Yes,
I'm sorry if I missed it, but
That's
how
okay.
long can it be on coming soon status?
your begin showing date has to be at least 2 weeks prior to the expiration date of your listing agreement. So however long that is.
So we wanted, so before it goes live, there's a, like you can do 3 days before it goes active, or we can do 6 months or 5 months or whatever.
I mean, that really just depends on the length of your listing agreement. The policy's written so that way you have to have it active for at least 2 weeks of your listing agreement period, but there's no limit to the amount of time it can sit in coming soon. Some of the folks who have experience with like Lawrence and Heartland MLS can tell you that leaving something on the MLS in the coming soon status forever doesn't do you any favors. So just because you can do it doesn't mean it's the best option. Yes. No worries. If you think of it again, yes.
When it changes from coming soon to active, does it repopulate to any collapse center or set up searches as a new listing?
Well, it gets sent out again, like if we have our buyers set up on email notification through the collapse center, it'll get sent out once as a coming soon, but when it switches over to active, will it get sent out again? I think it's question. So
Yes.
That's an excellent question, and I believe it's going to depend on how you have your notification set up, because that'll be a status change, which if you have status changes set to trigger, then that'll definitely send a notification to your client, but I should investigate whether or not Paragon will automatically do that.
Will it have the same MLS number as coming soon and active?
Yes.
will the days that it's on, it's coming soon, when it does active count as the cumulative days that it's on?
It'll go back to 0 when it's
Well, there's like 4 different days on market counters. And I know when we communicated with Paragon about how we want to set this up, we wanted the days on market specifically to work the same way as Lawrence, where that resets to 0 when the listing goes to active. I don't think that's going to affect the cumulative counts. But nobody tends to display those cumulative counts outside of the MLS, so. Yeah.
When it switches over to active and, there, it said we need to contact any appointments, like if it switched early.
Right.
Does Showing Time actually do that for us? Will they say, hey, this went active? Or is it something we'll have to contact each appointment?
Once everything is set up, I can check in with Showing Time to see if they can help you guys the same way they help Lawrence Showing Time users, because I believe Showing Time has it. So it automatically uses the begin showing date and showing time for when showings would become available, but I don't think there's any automatic notifications for when that date changes. So you're gonna probably have to manually notify when the begin showing date changes. Yeah.
I have a question, I have a suggestion.
Sure. Suggestions are good.
Thank you. If you get asked the option of notifying clients in Collab Center from going to relisting to active status, I would say yes, if you could notify them versus it being setting, because I don't necessarily want every buyer to get a notification when the house that went under contract. So if that's
Right,
an
right.
option, I'd like that status change to have a update, but not all.
Making myself a note.
Just figured they could be like, well, what do you want? If you what I want, I don't know if you guys want.
Yeah, no, I think most people would agree with you. Like, wow, I didn't think I did that. Okay, what me? What else you got? All right, well,
Can somebody tell me the benefits or negatives of these things said? Things do for me, really available.
there are different opinions and probably different situations and different markets and different properties when it comes to whether or not a coming soon status is gonna do you any good. If something gets marketed, thus now it has to go on the MLS because it's been marketed, but it's not ready for showings. That is one reason the coming soon status exists in a lot of MLSs, is to help people manage dealing with the clear cooperation policy. Because sometimes stuff gets marketed when it shouldn't be. Now everybody's cool because it's on the MLS. There are some luxury listing agents who have very specific advertising ideas that push back against some of the MLS requirements, and this is why a lot of the MLSs are adopting the coming soon status again, is to try to make everybody as happy as possible while staying inside of the legal rules framework that has been issued to us.
Amanda?
Yes.
Let's let, Janet and or Amanda address that from a broker, salesperson standpoint.
Sure.
Regarding why.
Do you want to take a minute to think about it?
If you ask why we're doing it, the pros and cons.
Yeah.
The pros are because a lot of the other MLSs around have that. And so a lot of our agents here are saying we're losing listings because I can list with Lawrence, who will come into this market and take the property, even though I want to list it. So they were thinking they were losing business, and they were. We found out they really were. So we thought we would try to help them by getting these, however we can do it to get the properties out there, but keep it fair for everybody. One of the cons that we had before when we did this, excuse me, was even though you weren't supposed to show the property, people were breaking the rules and showing the property when we had the coming soon. It wasn't being handled the way it was supposed to be. And that's why you see the $1,000 fine. And those fines will be levied and done if we catch people doing that, because this is supposed to be a fair, even playing field for everyone. And so if it's got a coming soon, there's no showing, there's no anything, and you're gonna be assessed, and if the buyer's agent showed it, they can be assessed a fine as well. But that's the reason it went away in the first place, was it just wasn't being done correctly. We had to bring it back because we didn't want our agents losing out on business.
Now, let me talk about some instances where you would use it. I don't think it is for every single listing. I wouldn't just automatically say, oh, let's put it on coming soon because we can. think about when you go to list a property, first impression is best, right? So if you cannot, the experience, I work in multiple MLSs. I don't know, I don't think I know everybody, so I am a poll maker here to speak up, I'm the immediate past president for the MLS, so that's why I'm, just so you guys know, like, why are these two talking? Now, anyway, so our experience that we've had in Lawrence is, if you just put it on coming soon, agents don't keep up with that when it actually becomes active. And as the consumer forgets about it and, so, I would say an instance where you would use it is if you have a garage sale or an estate sale coming up, because you technically are not supposed to be marketing those, that is your listing during a garage sale or an estate sale. Or let's say that, maybe you have a room that needs new paint or carpet or something, and it's not quite done yet, or maybe there's a plumber that needs to work on the house and they just haven't had time to get over there. You could put it in the coming soon status, you could start marketing it. Another instance would be if you had a contingency, your buyer had to sell before they could buy their next property, maybe you wanted to gauge interest. So you can put it in coming soon status and just see how many views it's getting, if the agent's getting any calls and saying, hey, when's this coming active, that kind of thing, or questions being asked, that type of thing. But I would say if you are using coming soon, it's a very serious conversation with your seller about first impression and just making sure that you do have good photos, you do have all of your marketing ready and set up if you are going to use that coming soon status, because if you put it out there with just a exterior photo, then people are gonna lose interest right out the gate. And it doesn't look good on Zillow or Realtor.com or any of those other sites that it gets put on. The con could be, again, like I said, like not having a good first impression, and then it sits there and you listen to get stale. So it's just not for every single listing, but like I said, it was an option that we needed to make based on our surrounding territories and what we're dealing with. So I think it's a really good tool that you can use appropriately with your sellers.
So. Seller, somebody in, unbeknownst to us as a listing agent, we would still get fined $1,000.
You would have to do the emergency, like, unauthorized showing. You have to do that.
Right,
Showing protocol.
And then it becomes what?
right.
Yes.
So tell yourself.
So that's, again, very serious conversation with your seller. If you cannot show this.
Yeah.
And if you want to show it, let's turn it out.
If I get active.
The other thing I would caution you on is, just because we are a smaller market, this happens in Kansas City a lot. Just what I've seen with, they've been using Green Velocity coming soon for a while now. They will switch the status on people before the coming soon date is up. They're like, oh, we're ready to make it active, and it goes active. So you really need to watch and make sure if you have a client that's really interested in a coming soon that you're watching and if you're in communication with that other agent. I know it's gonna be hard if you do switch it early, because I know other agents in our market will be like, what the heck? Like, I got switched up, yeah.
That's where it would help if it would get sent back out on the
Right.
collaboration.
Yes. Right.
Like you don't miss.
Well, it would appear in that hot list, correct? Because it's gonna appear as status change. So it should appear in your hot list if you have that set up there.
And I'll look at, maybe there's other ways I could help with the collab center notification, even if Paragon can't do what we want them to do.
Well, I was just gonna say, and if it does go back active, maybe there needs to be a requirement that they are allowing showings within like a timely manner instead of like blocking it off for the day for work or whatnot. Like if they break that policy and have to go active immediately, like not just active, but you also have to allow showings, right?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, like you can change the status, but unless people can get in to show the house.
Decline.
Yeah.
It's active now.
Well, and the whole point, I'd also be really careful with, sight unseen offers, like artist funds, and do your due diligence before you accept those too. When they have a change of heart once they get inside and see the house.
So what I hear you saying is if you put it in the coming soon status, you need to have all your photos and
everything's just ready to go, you're just waiting on the seller, it's.
That's up to you, but I just, that's how I'm going to train my agents. Again, every verbiage is different.
I think the big thing that you're gonna have to watch is like, when people are having a garage sale or an estate sale, and somebody says, oh, I'm really interested in your house, and your owner said, well, come on through. That's a red flag, you're gonna have to watch them and watch them and make it happen.
That's like my biggest.
Yeah, that's gonna be a concern.
It does say in the rules. It does say in the rules that it says unauthorized showings that happen as a result of a state or garage sale do not require change to listing status unless a written offer is accepted. So there's
Yeah, but. Someone drives by your yard.
no,
And that's my.
yeah, no.
Is there a requirement if it does have to like change to active, maybe like it has to be active for like 24 hours or it can't go active and then
Once-
later it can go under contract?
Oh,
Unauthorized showing, like.
You can go active right to under contract.
right. There's no minimum amount of time any listing has to be in the active status before it goes under contract, so no. And
It's not gonna be sold before process, I do.
no, it's already on the MLS, so it can't go in sold before profit.
I'll agree not to break.
Right. Like, the MLS is a broker cooperative and you want to cooperate with the other brokers and get along well and have them want to work with you and not get a reputation as a shady agent, just saying.
And that includes yard signs too. We can-
Right, I mean, once it's on the MLS, then all of, you know, clear cooperation, check, satisfied, so you can do all of the marketing that you normally can because the listing is on the MLS.
coming soon.
More pizza has arrived. Let's go to more.
Well, while I've got you here as a captive audience,
I have a quick question. There's no.
go for it.
There's no limit on information you have to provide someone that's like a sign call, someone, hey guys, thank you for, okay. There's no limitation on information you can provide somebody that calls on a coming soon property, like you can tell them anything and everything about it, correct? They just can't go in and look at it.
Right. So,
Can we still show them videos?
I mean, virtual tours can get posted on the MLS. So. Just in case you haven't noticed it, there is a button right here that will open the coming soon email in case somebody missed it and they need to find it. Oh, hey, you guys are looking at my face. I should share the screen. Ta-da! Right? Thank you. That coming soon button will open the email that got sent to everybody if you need a shortcut to it. That's there on the MLS homepage. Also, the member resources button that's been there forever. And we added a page of Paragon tutorials. Mostly because Morgan taught me about Scribe, and so now I'm looking for any reason to scribe out something for you guys, so. Yes,
Amanda has a very good point that she needs to bring.
please do.
Yeah, well, I just want to address the videos or whatever somebody just asked. I think there needs to be a very distinct, or there needs to be a distinction between somebody doing a video tour showing and you already have a video. So if you are going to list the house, you can use video as marketing, but you can't go over and do a video tour, virtual
Right.
showing of the house like we were doing when houses can be shown.
Good point. Thank you.
That's $1,000 fine.
Right. Virtual showings are still showings.
Yes,
Different from a virtual tour that gets added to the MLS where everybody can see it.
whatever information you want to get needs to be done on time, whatever marketing material you want to gather, videos, whatever needs to be done at your listing appointment and the time you're gathering the marketing information.
And there are no warnings on the $1,000 fine, and I can guarantee you from the discussions of the MLS board, there will be no waivers, or there will be no, waiving the fines. They are serious about this, the reason it went away before, so there will no, if you pay or if you play, you're gonna pay.
Agent funds or brokerage funds?
Initially, it's the agent, if it continues to be an issue,
The
it may be a
brokerage.
broker fund as well.
Yeah, we've discussed those.
I mean,
So we're gonna start with the agents and see how that goes.
you were saying general, your marketing material up front, it seems to me like maybe it's really not wanting leaders to go back in after like it's coming to.
No, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that necessarily, I guess, but don't go do it. I mean, there's a very fine line between going in and only grab media with this buyer. Sure. Versus like having them on getting them on FaceTime or whatever.
Yeah, like you could go show and.
Yeah,
you need to, yeah, but like, you gotta go meet with your sellers, it's not gonna be.
No.
Showing.
No. He's talking about adding a virtual tour to his listing. Or having a phone call or a FaceTime call with a potential buyer. Sure. Walking through there.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should clarify that. Yeah, thank you.
So yeah. Those are all good questions.
Don't forget the blood drive. Don't forget the membership meeting coming up in June. Be sure to sign up for those things.
Pickleball registration deadline is coming up. You want to get the t-shirt. You can still register after June 1st, but you're not guaranteed a t-shirt. Got the mixer coming up in June.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys want to learn that's not coming soon? Anybody struggling with anything else while we're here? All right. Well, I'll be here all day if you need. Thank you. Thank you.